Hello people, you read the title. I'm playing melee only with the no immunity frames mod, the same mod that makes the copper short sword have better DPS than the Knight's Edge. However, even though I'm going to be doing a fuck ton of damage, enemies in this mod essentially always one-shot me on contact. Little old me decided that wasn't enough torture though, and I'm going to use nothing but the melee class. With 80% of the weapons available to me not having any projectiles, this should be quite the experience. PSA, this is an expert mode world and the mod list is in the description. Let's get into it. Opening up my starter bags I added to speed up early game a tiny bit, I got to chopping down trees like everyone starts off their world, and then proceeded to set up my starter base with some NPC prisons to house the poor souls that end up living in this world, as well as setting up magic storage because what the fuck is a chest in organization. Venturing into my first cave, I passed by a good omen golden squirrel and got a nice wooden boomerang. A bit further down I realized that boomerang is fucking trash and I got absolutely destroyed by this cave bat, resulting in the first death not even 5 minutes into this world. I apologize for making you sit through this horrible 15-second timer, but just remember, every death you see I had to sit here for 15 seconds debating my existence. Trying out the cave on the left of my home, I ended up dying again because of this terrible boomerang. However, I noticed the crimson, and I decided to try and acquire a rotted fork, a spear weapon that with its penetration value should be pretty good for this mod. I ended up getting it from the second orb, and it came with a godly reforge on it, which was pretty cool. Starting the elevator, I was blocked by some slimes, and holy Jesus Christ, spears are the way to go with this mod. Just look at this damage. A bit onwards and the skeleton thought he could do something which he did in fact not, and that's when he decided to clone himself and rain vengeance upon me. My brain was so discombobulated from this death, I took my own life on this detonator just to ponder for another 15 seconds. Passing by the desert to the right of my world, I stumbled upon the jungle. Feeling brave enough to explore it, I went down just to remember the world is a harsh place. Making my way to the left of the world, I found the dungeon and, well, that's literally all I found. Wasn't no chest in the ocean or anything. I decided to do some fishing in the ocean, and on my way there I snagged 2 pieces of snow armor from some zombies. With my new armor I set up a little fishing shelter and started the hour-long fishing session. I didn't mean to fish for an hour, however with the help of the angler shop mod, I was able to buy fishing gear from the angler and my addiction wouldn't let me stop casting my hook. Eventually I called it quits though, and sold everything I didn't need and organized my loot and treasures that I had acquired. I went back underground trying to get some sweet shiny gems just to die from another fucking cave bat. And eventually a baby slime made me want to cry like a baby. Getting jump scared by the Goblin invasion, I set up a quick arena and started slaughtering. Honestly, this was the one time I actually enjoyed this event. Yes, I died multiple times because the sorcerer's purple fireballs hit as hard as a freight train, but the sound effects and damage numbers when fighting these enemies made it so satisfying that I actually enjoyed it, and I finished the event soon enough. Dropping back down the elevator, I died to a literal block of silt, and the 15 seconds of shame somehow, someway gave me enough courage to try and fight the first boss of the run, King Slime. So, I crafted the spawner, and well, this is how it went. After losing to a boss with 9 fucking HP, he tormented me even more by spawn camping me with his fucking minions. Getting some more platinum underground, I made a full set of armor and expanded my colony of depressed villager houses. Then I went back to the jungle to look for some feral claws, an item that would greatly boost my DPS. After inevitably dying to a hornet and not acquiring what I went looking for, I wanted to vent my anger on the fat slime and take my revenge. It only took 16 deaths and 240 seconds of my life wasted. But I finally had my first taste of victory. I was so happy. About 10 minutes of searching and thinking about how bad I hate the jungle, I finally found some feral claws, and with my newly acquired gear, I challenged the poster boss of the game, Eye of Cthulhu. Feeling overly confident after that, I immediately spawned him again just to get picked up and drug away. Have you ever been picked up and drug away by a boss in this game? Because I sure as hell haven't, and it left me speechless. Continuing the boss rush, I went straight to the Crimson and set up a small arena for the Brain of Cthulhu fight. With absolutely zero hesitation, I immediately spawned him again. After crafting the Deathbringer pickaxe with the brain's flesh and blood, I got to work mining some hellstone. After a quick death from a demon, I crafted the best armor set available to me in pre-hard mode, Molten Armor. Now, defense is completely useless, but the 10% extra melee damage from the set bonus was very worthwhile. Underground again, I went back and forth on this minecart until the Goblin Tinkerer spawned. I bought the Tinkerer's Workshop and some rocket boots from him and went back home, upgraded my accessories. Then I tried challenging the Eater of Worlds. I died here more times than I would like to admit, but eventually the boss's AI pathing got him into quite the predicament, which I made full use of and conquered the silly worm. After extending my magic storage, I set up an arena for Skeletron, and oh boy, I was not ready for the torture this boss would cause me. Skeletron normally isn't that bad, so you usually don't have to worry about the fact every fucking time he kills you, you have to wait a whole Terraria day for the old man to spawn in again. Just enjoy the death montage. The traveling merchant spawned while I was skipping through the day, and he was selling sake. I guess it's time to bring up 30 stack potions. Basically, once you have 30 of a single potion with the quality of life mods I have, it gives you the effect of that potion permanently. With sake increasing my melee damage, this was a big upgrade that allowed me to do this. hour and a half later, I finally bested him, and immediately went into his dungeon to find the mechanic. The mechanic is important in this run because she sells wires. I'm sorry to interrupt, but as you just saw, my game lagged while I was buying these wires, and it messed up the whole game audio with a weird delay. I tried my best to fix it, but I ended up just cutting out the game audio for the rest of this episode. So I'm sorry about that, just enjoy the crisp noises my lips make and the cool music. With the quality of life mods I have installed, wires allow me to craft a DPS meter. And the DPS meter lets me test my DPS on this cool dummy, that way I can actually tell which weapons will be the best for me without immunity frames. Back in the dungeon, I managed to find a cobalt shield, which greatly helped from preventing getting stun locked by some enemies. I also found a shadow key, which I took straight to hell in search of the dark lance, the best spear you can obtain in pre-hardmode. And this would be my weapon of choice versus the wall of flesh. A bit of grinding later, I fully upgraded all my accessories, and after spending my life savings reforging my equipment, I went straight to the jungle for the materials needed for the blade of grass, the last weapon that I needed to craft the Knight's Edge. Now the Knight's Edge is usually the best pre-hard mode melee weapon you can get, so it's got to be at least decent in this mod, right? Wrong. The Knight's Edge had more than 2,000 less DPS compared to the Dark Lance. After a few minor difficulties preparing my Hell Bridge to fight the Wall of Flesh, I decided fuck it, that's good enough, let's see how bad this is going to be. Now, I genuinely think that this was my easiest and quickest Wall of Flesh fight I have ever had, thus ending my pre-hard mode journey and opening up a whole new world to me, which you will just have to wait until the next episode comes out to see. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a good rest of your day. Later, losers.